So greetings, friends and followers. This is Nurses Talking. I am Del Barzi. And as always, if you like what you see and hear, subscribe. Leave us a comment and let us know what you think. And here on Nurses Talking, we typically speak to nurses anywhere in the world at any stage in their nursing journey, from students to retirees and anywhere in between. And today, I am very, very, very excited to present to you the authors of a book, upcoming book, Letters to a Future Nurse. This is a collaboration of 22 nurses representing 6 countries and 17 United States. And so I'm going to ask Ms. Leah Parker, whose brainchild this was, to start us off and tell us a little bit about how this all got started. Leah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dale. This project started from just a love for nursing and seeing so much negativity in a lot of groups that I'm in. So just to give you a little quick background on me, I've been a nurse about over 20 years. I've worked as an RN, I've worked as a nurse practitioner, lots of different settings, labor and delivery, retail clinic, psychiatry. I've worked with lots of different patients in lots of different settings. And I went into nursing after the death of my daughter, and I'm a chronic illness patient. I have chronic illness. So I'm really invested in the future of our profession as a patient.
Yeah.
And the pandemic, I think, just exacerbated a lot of existing stressors that were already on nurses everywhere. And as a result, in these nursing groups, every day, every single day, in every single group I was in on Facebook, that is, I would see nursing students ask the group, am I making a mistake going into this profession? Does anybody still love what they do being a nurse? Does anybody love it? Because it's just all, I'm leaving the profession. I'm just stressed out. I'm burned out. And seeing that nursing students were just seeing that day in and day out. And we need nurses.
Yes.
All of us, our families, our friends, everybody is invested in this issue. We need nurses, and not just any nurses that care for other people, that have that compassion in their heart. And we need to encourage those folks to continue on this, journey. Yes. So that's where the Lord just laid that vision in my heart over a year ago, to want to put something good out there, just something good. And I was hoping a few people would sign up with me to do it. And I got quite a few people.
Look what happened.
So yeah, it's been unbelievable.
Well, oh my goodness. It has been a journey. And Leah, I'm sure everyone would agree with me when I say that you have been an inspiration and an awesome leader.
Thank you so much. It was definitely something, we're nurses. I'm a nurse too, and leading a group of folks to do something as special as this was definitely out of my comfort zone. But when the Lord puts a vision in your heart, He'll help you do it. So it's Indeed. Been an honor. It's been an honor working with everybody, and I can't wait for everyone to read everyone's stories. It's going to be so awesome.
It's so exciting. It's so exciting. So thank you so much for that, Leah. I'm going to skip Brittany because she's not there, but Diane, would you tell us about you?
I have been a nurse for now almost 37 years. So it's been a minute, and I have worn a lot of different medical hats over that time. My first degree is in kinesiology. So I didn't even start off in my nursing career until after I started to get a feel for the physicality of our body and understanding that a little bit more in depth. And that's what kind of drove me to go into the nursing field. little did I know that it was going to become my passion. Like there's something to be said for that internal part of all of us that gets fed from just simple compassion and caring and offering that one little glimmer of hope or encouragement and inspiration to our patients, our colleagues, our mentors. So I was empowered by that at a very young age. And I started to ride that nursing career throughout, like Leah, many different facets of nursing, and ended up being in a naturopathic world. Now I work in alternative medicine. Now I do, I started off doing maternal child health, and now I get to combine my kinesiology degree initially with what I do every day in the capacity of privatized healthcare. So I think every single one of us has an amazing story. I can't wait to hear everyone else's story. But I think that we, as nurses, we stay in the profession because it is grueling at times. But I think for myself, I have found a niche, a place where I fit that feels right. And I think that's the hardest thing in nursing, is really finding, where do you fit? What gives you those rewards on a daily basis where it doesn't feel like work for me anymore? It's a crime they pay me to do what I do every day, because for me, it's not work.
Yeah. I know what you mean, but it takes some getting there though, doesn't it?
Takes a little bit. Yeah. I think in that process of learning about who we are as individuals, who we are as human beings, and what nurtures us and what feeds our soul. And we sometimes don't know that when we're, 21 years old, just starting.
I know. Yeah. You have to live a little bit in order to know that.
A little bit.
Thank you so much.
Very privileged to be a part of all of you. Thank you.
Yeah. Tiffany? Did I miss Tiffany? Okay, I thought I had her. Kelsey?
I'm here.
Oh, you're there. I thought you were there.
I was just muted. Sorry, I had to find the button. I was so caught up in listening to you guys, and I had forgotten that I would have to speak as well. I've been in nursing about 20 years in all different areas, but always at the bedside. And as a bedside nurse, my favorite thing has always been collaborating and learning from one another, and realizing, the people next to you are the people who know what you're going through and have your back in ways that not everybody gets. And I was like Leah, and probably a lot of you on those Facebook groups, seeing people feeling discouraged and just seeing this other side of things and wondering like what we could do. And I was starting a journey into the writing world. And as an author, I was writing a book for the NICU, for parents and to be inspired. And I was seeing all these people writing books, and I was going to events, and I kept thinking, oh, I want other nurses to be doing this with me. And I could tell, like, as I tried to talk to people, we were in a world of nursing that not a lot of people could understand. And all of a sudden one day I see a post from Vebs, and she says people are writing this book, and the idea that we could like reach out to all these people who could feel the same way as us and come together in a collaboration, when I think a lot of us were feeling so separated from colleagues. I was masked all the time. I didn't know who the people I was working next to. I didn't even know what they looked like. It was really hard to bond with people, and to find a group of people who wanted to do what I did and inspire. I'm just so amazed by everybody and watching it that I just feel grateful to be here, and it's really exciting. And I love getting to know you all, and I love like listening to your stories. It's what nursing needs right now, and it's exciting to be part of it. So thank you, Leah, and thank you to all of you for being so vulnerable and sharing. And I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to read our book. So thank you.
It is definitely what nursing needs right now. Brittany, I'm glad you made it. I'm going to ask you to go next.
Hi, Dale. Thank you. This is exciting just to see everybody smiling. I mean, oftentimes you use your own virtual calls, and it's just blank faces or blank stares. And so that's confirmation that I do feel that everyone is at peace with their decision and happy with their decision to join Leah on her dream of doing this. Leah, thank you so much for putting this together. Thank you for thinking of me to be a part of this project. I'm humbled by that. So thank you very much. Dale, as I stated, I'm Brittany Caldwell. I am a family nurse practitioner. From born and raised in South Carolina, so I'm a Southern girl, and I began my nursing career. I always thought I was going to be a teacher, so I was a little girl that had all her stuffed animals. I had my own desk in my bedroom. I had my chalkboard. All my teachers used to give me all their teacher workbooks. Like I was the teacher, and you would not believe my senior year of high school. Another teacher saw something in me and she's like, no, Brittany, I don't think you're going to be a teacher. I'm like, what am I going to be? And she's like, you're going to be a nurse and you're going to get your master's in nursing and you're going to teach nursing. And I was like, oh my gosh. And, finalizing my college plans. And I was like, do education or do nursing? I was just going back and forth and I just did it. And it was the best decision of my life. I truly know when I was created and God created me, I know he just stamped me and said, it's going to be a nurse and shot me out to my mom and my dad. Like, I know that this is what I'm supposed to be. I love being there for people in their time of need. And when I feel like in our field, they're most vulnerable. And if I can be a trusted figure and passing through their life, they may not ever see me again, but if I can be a positive light, that really does bring me a lot of peace. I have had the honor of being a pediatric nurse, L&D, mom, baby, women's health, med, everything in the hospital. Outside of the hospital, I've done public health at the health department. I, as a nurse practitioner, have done primary care, and I currently have always been in nursing and management together. I've always done them simultaneously. Currently, I am the regional director for Optum, which is the clinical part of United Healthcare. And I manage North and South Carolina. So I supervise and manage a lot of nurse practitioners and nurses, and we take care of one of our most vulnerable populations, our elderly and long-term care community. So I love that. I get to take care of them indirectly by making sure that their providers are happy and well taken care of. And I got their care, so I'm excited about that. I'm also the owner of BC the NP, Brittany Caldwell, the nurse practitioner. It is a health and wellness center. It is based out of, we have a physical office in Indian Land, South Carolina. We serve patients internationally. We specialize in weight loss, but anything health and wellness is what we do. So, and we are excited, and we're excited to see the growth of that. So thank you guys.
Awesome. Look at all these nurses we have here. Willow, please.
Hey everybody, I'm so excited to be here. Absolutely, Dale, I'm just overwhelmed by what an amazing group of people this is, and how the hell I landed here, I will never know, but clearly somebody wanted me to be here. So I'm just so excited to be a part of this group. And, I was really blessed to find nursing early, and I've always known I was meant to be a nurse, but never fit. I never fit. And I have done all sorts of weird things as a result, all within nursing. I don't know, weird, but I've done sort of reinvented, myself through nursing. I've lived my life through nursing, through being a nurse. It has always been a very defining part of who I am and how I live, and a part of my identity. And I've been a nurse for 25 years now. And so now that makes sense, but I sort of leaned in hard, even when I was really a new nurse. So yeah, I've had the opportunity, like so many of you, to do lots of different things and work in lots of different settings as a nurse and a nurse practitioner. And, developed programs, created programs. I've been lucky enough to be sort of on the cutting edge of some fields, like I've been very heavily involved recently with nurse navigation, as that has become now a billable type, specialty. And created programs in that area, and I've always worked in maternal child health in all different capacities, NICU, mom, baby, those kinds of things. I've more recently been blessed to have the honor of working with on an Indian reservation and work with really vulnerable people who need a lot of support, and it's been the most incredible work of my life. Great. So I think I found my spot after a long time. So, my worldview is that really at the end of the day, it's all about loving. And for me, nursing has given me the channel to love people and to do it in a way that people can receive it. And, I always was sort of a bleeding heart, compassionate person. I'd save the bird that was clearly beyond saving on the side of the road. And, I get to do that in nursing. And that is what really fills my cup. And so I work with the really vulnerable people right now at this point in my career. And that is really special because I feel like I get to see people when they're raw and messy, and I'm kind of a raw, messy person too. And so I just adore that I get to have this secret doorway into people's lives by being a nurse, because I feel like people trust us and people welcome us into their homes. And so often they share their vulnerability, and that allows me to share my vulnerability. And it's just a really special and unique way to live your life. So I really feel I've lived my life as a nurse, and I hope I get to keep doing this work. So the opportunity to think about newer nurses or nurses who are not feeling their passion at the moment was just an opportunity that felt like it was meant to be. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just so happy to be here. So thanks for letting me share.
Look at all this stuff. Kelsey?
Hi, thank you. I'm Kelsey
Hi.
Levayach. I want to thank Leah too, first, for inviting me into this group of amazing people. I think what's interesting that we already touched on is that there hasn't been just one walk of nursing. We've all gone through many different parts of it. And I found I'm also NICU background and labor and delivery, maternal child health. So a few of us have that in common. But for me, I knew nursing was a home, but I haven't found my place in the world. So for me, it's been travel nursing. And I think that this is all a good reminder for new nurses that you don't have to find a place. You can just keep going and keep changing and morphing and evolving into the people that we are and the experience that we have. And that if you don't love it, it's okay to evolve, to grow into a different role. But not necessarily leave nursing. I think what led us to nursing is always the same in our hearts. It's that we want to care for people in one way or another. And there doesn't have to be one path to that, and you don't have to stay in that path. So I thought that was really cool for all of us. It's been quite a journey. I've been a nurse for 15 years. I feel like a little baby nurse here sometimes. I always feel like I'm just new at this. I think that's I don't know if that ever goes away. So 15 years and I'm still, maybe because I'm moving around so much, but if that gives any new nurses comfort, you may never feel comfortable, and that's okay too.
Yeah. You'll get to the confidence. Believe me, you will. Welcome, Janet.
Hi there, everyone. It's great to be here amongst so many authors.
We're just telling what brought us here, and a little bit of background about ourselves.
Okay. What brought me here, I started at that point, was basically seeing the opportunity and knowing that just by the title, that after being a nurse for so long, I could just see and touch the need. And I said, I need to be a part of this. And that's when I sent an email or contacted Leah and said, is there any more space available for someone to write a chapter? So that was my decision point. And plus my daughter is also in nursing. So I wanted to include her in some way.
Yeah.
I've been a
That's
nurse
awesome.
for a long time. I worked in a lot of different places. And my husband's retired Air Force, so that required a lot of travel. But I think the last end of my nursing career, I traveled as an interim director of nursing for about 10 years. And that really helped solidify a lot of different things. One is looking at truly what nursing is all about, because I had kind of I was falling out of love with nursing. And then I fell in love with nursing again. And then just, I've also been a magnet coordinator, and that really helped solidify again that foundation and why we do what we do. But at the end of the day, I've learned through all this that it's important to have joy. Not just a little bit of joy, but a whole lot of joy, and no matter what we're doing, because I can help other people when my cup is full. And it takes me intentionally keeping that cup full to help other people. And I think in nursing, it's easy for us to lose ourselves. And then, and as we lose ourselves, it's critical that we don't let that happen, that we do what we can do to prevent that, because we have families, we have children, and it goes on. So I can't wait to read the rest of the chapters in the book. I cannot wait to get another thing I was doing that. So we got copies of the manuscript. And I said, oh man, I would love to read that manuscript of this book. So we won't get it. We can order on the 6th of December. Is that right? Okay. But that's pretty much it. That's how I got here. That's how I got
Thank you so much, Janet. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. You've expressed what so many of us are feeling. I saw the heads going, nodding.
Mhm.
Jackie, from
Kia
way
ora.
down under.
Yeah, all the way down here on Sunday for me, down in New Zealand. So kia ora, everybody. I'm Jackie. I've been a registered nurse for 28 years, next week actually. And like Leah, I was led into nursing through my own personal health journey. So I was a pediatric patient. And albeit that I was physically healed, I wasn't psychologically, spiritually, or emotionally healed through that journey. So I believe I was an unhealed healer when I went into nursing, and I had many taps on the shoulder and many 4x4s in the back of the head. And then eventually I had my Mack truck moment, and that was 7 years ago. And so since then I've been on repeat saying we need to care for our carers. And then COVID hit and we were called the heroes, and they weren't wrong. We are definitely on the hero's journey. And when I saw it was Vebs mentioned this collaboration, it was a hell yeah for me. I wanted to dare to change that story from heroes to hero's journey and share those journeys. And making sense of my journey really makes sense now. I see the world differently. I call myself a health visionary. You'll see that in my story. And so I now dare to care differently and dare to receive care differently. And it's that same old thing, keep doing the same thing over and over again. You're going to get the same result.
Yeah.
So I just love that we're going to have this eclectic collection of solutions. Us heroes, we're solution focused. Unfortunately, we're energetic beings, so we can slip into victim martyrdom. However, I feel like we've rised up and we're like, here we are, we're ready to shine. And I believe that we are the light for our future carers, for our future nurses. So bang on, lead us to a future nurse. We love you. We're here for you. We love rock stars. We're hope merchants, and love is the panacea. I totally agree. And come to New Zealand.
We'll all come at once.
Yeah. You're
I actually
welcome.
have some friends that just left from there recently.
Ah,
Mhm.
Mm.
yeah, we're a bit war torn like everyone else.
Amber,
Hello.
go.
Hi. So I've been a nurse. I feel like I like maybe one of the youngest here. I've been a nurse for about 11 years now. I started in the hospital. So I was doing bedside nursing. You know, everyone says do the year in the hospital first, you know, get that experience. So that's what I did. And I decided to leave the hospital. It was a hard experience, and that's also what I kind of write about in my chapter. But I left the hospital and I went to clinic nursing, and I found that I really liked urgent care. So I've been in urgent care for about 10 years out of the 11, maybe 9.5. And then I also do phone triage for family practice. So I split my time with those two things, and I do really enjoy the urgent care part of it. And then COVID hit, right? Everyone is saying, you know, COVID hit and all this stuff had changed. So kind of what brought me to this is back up a little bit. About 5 years ago or so, I had started thinking about how to be wanting to be an entrepreneur, and what I could do with my nursing knowledge to help future nurses. I wanted to work with nurses versus patients, because I would still be working with patients. So it'd be a good in the middle of it. So I was thinking, what can I do to help nurses? And I had thought back on my experience becoming a nurse in the beginning of my career. What did I struggle with? What was the biggest challenge? And it was, I would say, nursing school. Nursing school was difficult, and I think everybody can agree. We all went through that, and with COVID coming, it just made things harder. You know, older nurses in the profession were leaving. These students had virtual clinicals versus in person. I still don't understand that, but you know, I guess it works. So I just thought that, you know, what could I do with my nursing knowledge to help these nurses? So I've decided, and I'm working on currently, setting up a business called Surviving Nursing Together, which I think is pretty fitting, where older nurses who have the experience will help these nurses bridge that gap from nursing school to the first year of their nursing career. And just like, you know, everyone has been saying, you see all these posts and these messages on Facebook saying, I don't want to be a nurse. You know, did I make the right decision? Can I, you know, give me some encouragement, give me some tips? And there's not enough nurses, even now with the shortage, to be able to properly mentor these new nurses and give them that encouragement and take the time with them, because they're rushing around trying to get their stuff done, and they don't have the time to sit and explain and give that encouragement to new nurses. So then I saw the post about this book, and I said, well, that would just be a wonderful addition to what message I'm trying to get out there. So I decided to join, and I'm so thankful that I got this opportunity. It's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Amber. It's really cool. It is an opportunity. Keith?
Hey everybody, it's my turn. I didn't realize it was coming up that quickly. I guess I can't breathe that well. I don't know. Sorry, I know y'all probably seen my head turning and me doing a lot of stuff. I'm in Phoenix visiting my mom, my dad, my sister and her husband, and then my niece, my sister's daughter, just recently got married and had a baby. So it's my first time seeing the baby. And he bears my name. His first middle name is the same as my first name. So that's cool. I had to meet my namesake. But anyway, how I got into this. Actually, Leah is friends with my cousin, Robin, who lives in the same area. I think they go to church together, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So Robin and I are very close. We grew up together around the corner, and she knows I'm a nurse, and she knows how I feel about the profession and everything. So when I guess Leah and her were having a conversation about it before the book, while the book was still being conceptualized, and she brought my name up. And I was like, yeah, 100%. You know, I was all about it from the beginning. I've never written anything professionally, but I've written a lot of stuff, and people have always complimented me on my writing. I said, well, this is time. Now it's time to put this to the test. And what better than, you know, such a great cause. This is a really good thing. You know, I got into healthcare a very long time ago as an Army medic. Nursing was never on my radar. When I was in high school, I was a musician. I played saxophone, I sang, I danced, I did all kinds of stuff. And my goal was to go to college and become a music teacher and come and take my band director's job. But that faded out because I found out how much money teachers made in public school. And my mom was a public school educator for 33 years. So, you know, I experienced that firsthand. So sorry, I will actually end up teaching one day. To make a long story short, my wife worked for the state for a period of time. So we're traveling right now. That's what I do right now. I'm a traveler. I'm working in Los Angeles currently. She'll go back and finish out her time so she get her full retirement. At least that's what we're saying right now. So in the meantime, I plan to go ahead and start back. I was in a nurse practitioner program, and I really didn't want to do that. All I wanted to do, no offense to the MPs on the call, but what I really wanted to do was teach. So being an MP was just kind of an adjunct or not an adjunct, but a stepping stone of going to a postgraduate degree so that I could teach on the university level. So I just, you know, I'm good. But I don't want to, you know, if I'm going to go into debt, I want to go into debt to do something that I really want to do. And I didn't want to be a nurse practitioner. So I just want to eventually be a nursing professor. So that's later on. But anyway, I was a medic, and that was my first experience, and I was 18 years old, and I really loved it. And I ended up getting back into medicine a little bit, working in a dialysis clinic. And then I was going to go to med school, and we had kids, and then I didn't want to really be away from my children like that. So my wife was in nursing school, and she finished. She's a nurse too. I said, well, man, I might as well just go ahead and go to nursing school. And so I got in, and, you know, I just fell in love with it. And to fast forward to the current times, the whole COVID thing was, in the beginning of that, I was quite bitter for nurses leaving the profession. And I'm like, whoa, what is wrong with you? I mean, this is what we do. I mean, what are you going to do when the next pandemic comes? That's kind of the attitude that I had. But, you know, in reflection, it's like, I understand it. You know, a lot of people, it was a lot of death, more death than I'd ever seen in my career in a very short period of time, all the people that were dying. And that's got to be hard on anybody, whether you're a nurse or not. So, you know, I reverted back. But, you know, a lot of the comments that people were saying, all the postings and stuff that you see on Facebook, people not wanting to be a nurse after a short period of time. I read an article that said 33% of the nursing workforce leaves the profession after 2 years. I'm like, how in the world did you go through nursing school, all that hell, that you went through a nursing school to finish and leave the profession after 2 years? I don't understand that. That you know, when I have talked to new nurses, and Amber said something that she didn't understand. Oh yeah, the virtual clinicals. What is that? No, that's got to stop. That you can't practice taking care of real people on mannequins. You need to take care of a real person that can move and talk and complain and throw stuff at you. But anyway, I know I'm talking a long time. I'm sorry, I have a tendency to do that. But I understand it now. And when new nurses come to the profession, I said, you know, a lot of people do come into nursing for the money, but money might bring you to nursing, but it's not going to keep you here. You got to be compassionate and be passionate.
Exactly.
It's hard work. And it also is a very rewarding thing, because to be able and be an instrument to make a person feel better than they did when they saw you the first time, to me is a wonderful thing, and I get a lot out of it. I'm long-winded. I'm sorry I did talk a long time, but thank you all for letting me. Oh, I've been a nurse for 16 years. I started late. I didn't get my nursing degree till I was 33 years old. So and I'm 50 now. So I've been a nurse for 16 years, and I've been working cath lab mostly and ER that time. And I started out in ICU.
Thank you, Keith. I have to tell you, that's not late. From my perspective, that's not late.
No? Okay.
No. Nicole?
It is so thrilling to be here with all of you. I mean, we've been working on this project for months, and we've only been writing, right? We've been writing, we've been typing, we've been seeing each other on social media, but we've not been together. So I'm so jazzed, Dale, that you thought of this wonderful idea to gather us together. I'm thankful for that.
My pleasure.
Yes, and I'm thankful to hear each of your stories. And in this book, Letters to a Future Nurse, we have 22 of us who are sharing one story that has impacted us. And when I was thinking of what am I going to write about? What am I going to write about? There's so many stories. I've been a nurse for 25 years. I've worked in all of the critical cares, from neurotrauma to neuro to medical ICU to cardiothoracic surgery to all of the gamut of ICU's critical care emergency room. And I am what they call a super nurse, or so I thought. And I survived and am still healing from burnout. And I am here to share the story of that it is possible to begin healing. It is possible to learn ways that speak to you, that are calling you to rediscover your authentic self and connect with him or her again, and why you decided to become a nurse. I'm here to remind everybody that we have gifts that we share every day, and sometimes they can get forgotten. And so these moments that we can spend together to connect with each other, like us 22 nurses coming together to share our inspiring stories in hopes that we will inspire future generations, or just nurses who are struggling right now, because we see you and we feel you, and we have been there too. And so I feel such a strong calling to this project, and have just enjoyed working with all of you and working and discovering more about myself through the process as well. And I think, man, these nurses are incredible. Find your soulmate, find a friend who you can connect with, because that's what my story is all about, is finding friends in nursing, because when we can connect with each other, we can connect with ourself, what we need. But then no one understands nursing like a fellow nurse. So connect with your fellow nurses. And I just wanted to remind everybody that nurses have been rated #1 in the Gallup polls as the most trusted profession, and also the most ethically sound profession. That's 20 years in the Gallup polls in a row. And that is an incredible accomplishment. And I just want to say thank you for being so amazing nurses. And thanks for allowing me to be in this journey with you. I feel so blessed.
Thank you, Nicole. You guys are giving me all kinds of goose pimples. I hope you know that. Did I miss anyone? I didn't miss anyone, I don't think. Charlotte, did I get you?
No, you haven't gotten me yet.
Aha! I'm so sorry, Charlotte. There you go.
You're fine. And hi, everyone. I'm just so glad that we're able to, come on here together. And I'm just so excited to read all of your stories. I just think that this book is so unique and just so amazing. So my name's Charlotte Bailey, and I live in the state of Indiana in the United States. And I've been a nurse for about 6 years, but I've been in healthcare for a total of 12 years. I've always enjoyed writing as my passion. I write a blog website of devotional pieces, which is called Devotional Nurse. And I also have a devotional nurse YouTube channel where I will do some devotional book readings, and I will do worship music with my husband and things like that. So writing has always been a passion of mine. And I fell into the career of nursing. That was my profession that I fell into. So that's one of the things I think that was so neat about this book opportunity, was being able to mesh that together. My gift of writing and my profession of nursing, both of those passions together, which is a lot of what my chapter is about. It's about where I got started in nursing, which was starting out as a certified nursing assistant, a CNA. And then I moved on to be a qualified medication assistant, and then an LPN, a licensed practical nurse, and then a registered nurse. So I went through nursing school twice. A lot of my background lies in long-term care and skilled nursing rehabilitation, behavioral health, home health care. So that's where a lot of my background is at. And I was drawn to this project because of Leah's vision. I thought her vision was just amazing. Like, I had goosebumps when she was talking to me about it. And I just knew, like, I need to be a part of this. I need to join this. So just hearing her vision of being able to, hopefully impact lives, which I believe that will definitely do that. And to encourage future nurses, that's something that I'm very passionate about, because this profession can be emotionally and physically draining, as it is for any profession, really, that's in the service of other people. So I love that we talk about self-care a lot here on this call. And I'm just excited to be able to, give any kind of support to these future nurses with words of encouragement, and by sharing, what I've learned in my experience and my journey of nursing to be able to help them with their journey and theirs.
Thank you so much. I think that we've gone through everybody who's on here. So I will just go, and then I'll ask Leah to go. Leah, you have to look for people who are not here yet, right? Okay. So I am Dale. I would like to claim the seat of the oldest person on this call. So I have been a nurse and a midwife for more than 45 years now. I became a nurse in the mid-1970s. And I was born and I grew up on a tiny, tiny island in the Caribbean, Montserrat. I'm not sure if anybody has heard of Montserrat, but if you haven't, it's not because you're not paying attention. It's tiny. I became a nurse in England, and I worked in the United Kingdom. I went back to Montserrat. I worked there for a while. I worked back again in the United Kingdom, and now I'm here in the United States. Like many of you, I have done many different things within that nursing thing and trying to find my little niche. And so I found two. My first love was being a midwife, to tell you the truth. And then secondly was education. And now that I'm no longer full-time doing this thing, I get to realize one of my other dreams, which is to talk to nurses. And COVID helped me do that. I had the dream before COVID, but didn't see the possibility until then. And Zoom kind of blew up, and I thought, oh, well, why not? And so when I saw the post from Vebs about Leah's dream, about the book, I thought, oh my goodness, you mean I get to talk about it and write about it? Because it's into one of the reasons that I created this channel, Nurses Talking. It's because I want nurses to see other nurses doing so many other things, and not to feel that just because you're uncomfortable where you are, you're not a nurse. I want to show that there are so many different areas where we can function. And so I get to be part of a collaboration where so many other nurses who are doing so many other things are writing about all of this kind of thing. For me, it was like, yeah, the dream has come. So thank you so much, Leah. And thank you to all of you other nurses who really were on this and and encouraged me. Just being there is, made me feel like, oh, I can do this. So thank you all so very much. And now I'm going to go back to Leah and, let her say a little bit about the people who are not here today.
Because this was an international collaboration, we have different time zones. We're nurses, so we have nurses working on the weekend. We have several that couldn't be here today, even though they all wanted to be here. I'm just going to read their names. I wrote it down because I did not want to miss anybody in my excitement, and try not to get teary because, gosh, listening to everybody and after the week we've just had with our pre-release, I don't know about y'all, but that's not common, you guys, what just happened this week. That's not common. Any existing writers in here? I know Dr. Janet is a writer, knows that what happened on Amazon this week is not normal. So I'm going to try to read these names and not get teary after listening to everybody. Belle DeLeon Bradford. She is in Australia. And let me keep going down the list here because we have a few. Melissa Caio-oy, United States. Dr. Elizabeth Collins, United States. Tiffany N. and she's in the United States. Sylvia S. Dobgima is in the United States. Now, this next person, I think she was so excited about this vision that I think a lot, if not most of you, are here because of her. Emerlyn Vebs Dichoso-Dominguez. We all call her Vebs. She, when I connected with her, she was just so over the moon about this opportunity and this vision to impact the lives of future nurses and encourage nurses. I have to give her a shout out because I think she was probably, I have to give her the award for the most excited besides me, because I think a lot of you are here because of her. Let's see. A lot of us are on here. Let's see. Melissa Schossler in the United States. And Edwin Tayo, he is our England representative. And I think...
Did we mention Traci?
Traci Powell, yes. For some reason, I thought she was on here. She's not on here. Traci Powell, she is in a nurse entrepreneur group with me. That's how I connected with her. She's in the United States. And I think that's everybody. Everybody kind of expressed the same sentiment to me when they told me they couldn't be here for this meeting, that they were just so excited about the impact this book is going to have, because our profession is so unique and rewarding, and there's not many professions that make the impact that we make on a daily basis with patients. So pretty much everybody expressed that kind of same sentiment, that they were just so excited about the impact that this is going to have on future nurses. And next week we get to do it again with the actual release. So
indeed. It is so very, I think it's the most exciting thing. Barring the birth of my grandchildren, the most exciting thing that has happened in years for me. So everyone, thank you. Sorry, Leah.
I was going to say, I didn't want to forget, for those that know, Dr. Jean Watson, nursing theorist, was gracious enough to, when I wrote her, she immediately said she would write our foreword. She was excited about our project. And I don't know one nurse that does not have to learn about her. So I just wanted to mention her and just thank her for that gracious foreword that she wrote for us.
How awesome is that?
I have something I wanted to share with the group before I have to zip off the call, but I truly have appreciated this opportunity. I experienced something that I would like to do with this group that I participated with in another collaboration. And I would like to, anyone who's willing to do it, let me interview them about their chapter on my face, and it'll be on my Facebook page and that person's Facebook page and LinkedIn. And I thought we should do it in a nursing group. What do y'all think about that? Because it would be I just need contact information. Okay. Okay.
Sure. Put it in the plan.
Okay. And then Dale, I just wanted to share with you that when you said you were a midwife, I was delivered by my grandmother who was a midwife. And it was just like, and I didn't know that she was a midwife when I went into nursing. So that was that just really touched my heart when you shared that.
For me, that's a big deal. I mean,
It
it's
is.
you know, to be there when someone takes their first breath, and there's nothing like it.
If I can add one more thing, I'm sorry, I meant to say this when I was talking before, because I know I feel like some future nurses will be watching this. I failed my senior semester of nursing school the first time. Okay, and I think that so many people, you too, Jackie, okay, so many people that I was in nursing school with, you know, failed and just quit, and they never came back. I'm here to tell you, I was going to be one of those people. It was the last semester, y'all. I mean, you know, I got into some politics, not bad politics. I was president of the Nursing Student Association of the state I was in. And I let that take precedence over a very important exam. I didn't study enough for it. And I failed by, I needed a 77.5 that would have been rounded up to a 78. My final average was a 77.4. So I was that close, y'all. But anyway, I went back. You know, I had 3 days to make a decision. I talked to my wife about it. She was like, what are you going to do? I was like, well, no. So you got to do something. And so I just went back. I got in because it wasn't a guarantee, but I did get it back in, and I graduated. And here I am 16 years later. So nursing school is hard. So if any of you anybody that might be watching this that are considering going to nursing school, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and tell you the nursing school is easy, because it's not, and it should not be easy. Okay, it should be difficult just because of what we are responsible for come out on the other side. But you can do it if you set your mind to it. Anything can be accomplished if you really truly want to do it. And I just wanted to add that. Thank y'all for letting me add that to the end of it. I'm done now.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, nurses, thank you so very much for doing this. You rock.